Welcome to our second episode of our trainings. In this video, we are going to learn about ingredient selection. So when you're about to formulate your feed, there are a lot of ingredients. There's a variety of ingredients that you need to use. Now, for you to use any of those ingredients, you just don't pick, but you must first see and engage some things that you need to think of before you can select which ingredient you're going to use for your feed formulation. We learned about we've already covered the basic nutritional requirements, which includes protein, carbohydrates, minerals and vitamins. These are things that we've covered. Now, where are we going to get each of these? In what compound is it? In what ingredient are we going to find protein? And in how many ingredients are these proteins found? And then also for carbohydrates, in what ingredients and in how many ingredients? Now, among all those ingredients, which one is going to be cost effective when I select? This is what we are going to learn about in this video. So, on the introduction, creating an effective chicken feed formulation requires meticulous consideration of various nutritional components to meet the specific dietary needs of poultry. The key elements in these formulations include protein, energy, vitamins, and minerals, each playing a critical role in promoting the health, growth, and productivity of chickens. This is very straightforward. So, feed ingredient selection. What is it all about? Feed ingredient selection is a critical aspect of animal nutrition, and it plays a very pivotal role in the overall health, productivity, and economic viability of livestock operations. What does it involve? It involves carefully choosing ingredients to create a well-balanced, let's underline that, well-balanced and nutritionally optimized feed formula tailored to meet the specific needs of the target animal. So of the target animal, whether it's poultry, cattle, pigs, or livestock. So we said choosing ingredients to create a well-balanced and nutritionally optimized feed formula. So you need to balance. So each chicken at each stage has got a particular amount of proteins, a particular amount of carbohydrates that it needs for it to perform well. So now, for these ingredients, when you're selecting them, you must make sure that you balance that requirement. You must not put overdose, you must not put less. As you're selecting, you must select an ingredient that is not giving you too much, also raising your cost at the end of the day. So you must just target in ensuring that you balance what you're supposed to balance for the chicken to perform well, to give you the optimal performance. So factors that influence feed ingredient selection. Number one, nutrition requirement of the animal. Animals, birds in this case, have different nutritional requirements based on age, breed, and purpose of keeping that particular bird. That is for meat or for eggs. So generally, each of them has got a specific requirement. You would not feed layers what you need to feed to broilers, because they are going to gain too much. The reason as to why you are feeding these broilers is for them to get fat, and then you now start feeding them layer feed. You will find that they are not going to gain as they are supposed to gain. And we already know to say we don't need to make to grow our birds in terms of layers. Layer farmers, we could understand to say our layers must not gain too much weight. As a result, that can reduce productivity. So when we are selecting these ingredients, you would not select too much full fat soya to give to a layer, and then you find that, because you would find that it is going to gain too much. So nutritional requirement, purpose. What is the purpose? We've spoken of the age. You start giving grower finisher when the chick is still little. It's not going to, in fact, they won't even survive. Some of them you will start having high mortality rates because of the same. When you look at the breed of the chickens that you are feeding, some breeds have got specific dietary needs compared to others, but they are all broilers. So that is why you find that some, they would go as far as 12 days or 14 days starter, Others can even go as far as 3 weeks, 4 weeks starter, and there's no effect. But you try it on your birds, which is a different breed, you find that your chickens begin to perform in a different way. So we need to make sure that we know the nutritional requirement of our animals before we could feed. Number 2, essential nutrients such as proteins. So now, when selecting these feed ingredients, you need to know what is it that is bringing me proteins, what is it that is bringing to me carbohydrates. If you put everything here, what is it that is bringing to me fats, vitamins, and minerals? So these things must be present in appropriate proportions to support growth, reproduction, and overall health. So you might find sometimes to say it is soya cake or it is sunflower cake, but it's not giving you according to the way it's supposed to give back. It is not giving you, it is not having, if you take it under analysis, it is not having the needed amount of proteins. It is not having the needed amount of the contents it's supposed to have. Due to maybe the wrong ways of processing it, it had to deteriorate in its quality. So as a result, you find that as it is, yes, it's present, this essential nutrient is present, but it is not as it is required. So you find that you are putting the same amount that you need, but the performance is not good. Therefore, when selecting, you need to ensure that you have the good quality, because good quality is going to give you the needed essential nutrients. Number 3, understanding the nutritional profile of each ingredient is crucial to formulate a diet that meets these requirements. So you need to understand. So this also, it's the same as what I'm just talking about, understanding the nutritional profile. Take your ingredients for analysis so that you may be able to understand what is it that is having in this, what is it that is having inside it, what does it contain, so that at least you can be able to know what you're going to use it for. If you can see, you can't use the same meal-3. You can't use gaga as a source of carbohydrates or as a source of energy in broilers or layers. You say, I'm going to use gaga maize bran. That is not going to work out well for you. So you need to understand. When you understand, sunflower cake has got this particular profile, and if I use sunflower cake in this quantity, it's going to work well. So all these things are supposed to be understood by us farmers who are formulating our own feeds. Then consideration of ingredient quality is paramount. The quality is the same thing I'm just talking about. So let's take our ingredients for analysis. Hence, therefore, we are going to be able to cover all these things that have been mentioned on this page. So, high quality ingredients ensure that feed is free from contaminants and provides the necessary nutrients in the bioavailable form. Factors such as protein content, amino acid profiles, energy levels, and digestibility all contribute to the additional quality of the feed. Number 5, economic factors. These play a significant as well as balancing the nutritional needs of animals with cost-effective ingredient choices. It's essential for optimizing feed formulation. Some factors that influence economic feasibilities include, so before we even go to those factors, for economic factors, yes, we know fish meal is a very good source of proteins, but you decide to only use fish meal for your feed formulation. We know how much fish meal can go. So now, looking at how much fish meal is, you have a variety of other sources of proteins, but you decide to go for fish meal only. That is going to raise your cost. So when selecting ingredients, you also look at how much is it going to cost for me to produce my final feed. So these are things that you're supposed, it's very critical if you want to reduce your cost of production. So local availability, now when it comes to economic factors, so you will not run to a place that is 100,000 kilometers from your place to go and look for an ingredient that is cheaper when you have something cheaper in your locality. We tend to forget the cost of transport. And then we just say, no, it is 15 way that side. They are selling it at 2 kwacha per kg that side. Whereas if you look at it, if you come to add, you find that you actually spend more than you were supposed to spend when you were, if you were to buy from your locality. So local availability, even as you are buying something in a place where you usually don't have soya, then today you now decide I'll be formulating using soya because today I've had soya. You start having challenges in acquiring that soya because it's not in your locality. As a result, you will find that you start introducing new things in your formulation because you can't be constant. You just want something that is not from your locality. So local availability, what is it that is locally available in your area before you can start using that particular thing? Select things that are readily available. For proteins, what is it that is available in my area? For carbohydrates, for minerals and vitamins, what is it that is available? Then pricing of ingredients. So these prices as well, they play a very, very important role. Like I mentioned, if you want to reduce your cost of production, look at the prices as well. Even as you look at the quality, look at the prices. How much is soya costing? How much is meal 3 costing? How much is each of these things costing before I can select? So that as you are going to finalize the cost of production per bag, you are going to be able to finalize a reasonable cost as compared to commercial feed that we are all trying to not use because of the high cost of production. So ingredients, seasonal variation. So when you look at some ingredients, they are more in some seasons and they are less available in some seasons. So that's why we need to ensure that we select ingredients that are readily available in all seasons at least. If you can't find something that is available in all seasons, you can at least as well make sure you plan in such a way that you know sunflower cake is more in this season. So in this season, I'm going to be using sunflower cake, or I'm going to buy a lot in this season when it is more available, such that the time that it's not going to be available, I must have a lot to cover up for that part, for that season. Or you can find there are people who are able to farm like in lots of quantities, such that they have a lot even in the seasons where there is less of that particular ingredient. So ingredients, seasonal variations, we need to pay attention to that. So summary: feed ingredient selection is a dynamic process that requires ongoing evaluation and adjustment. So this is what I'm just from talking about ingredient seasonal variation. Let's not stick to tradition. Feed mixing is an ongoing change. Like every time we need to be flexible. As you are changing as well, let's not do it abrupt. It should always be gradual. Because as feed formulators, as you are going to start formulating your own feed, you must make sure you are on the ground to see and hear, understand what is it that is going to be expensive in this season, what is it that is going to be less, what am I going to use to replace this that is going to rise up. So you need to be flexible in terms of adjusting your formulas. That is what our summary here is showing us. So feed ingredient selection is a dynamic process that requires ongoing evaluation and adjustments. Factors such as market fluctuations, changes in animal life stages, and advancements in nutrition research may necessitate modifications to feed formulations. Regular analysis and testing of feed ingredients ensures that they meet quality standards and comply with regulatory requirements. A well-formed and thoughtful approach to ingredient selection is fundamental to achieving optimal animal performance and promoting the long-term success of livestock operations. So we need to go through this particular statement. It's going to really give us a lot of understanding. So the moment you just stick to one thing, you will not really understand feed formulation. You are going to have issues. You're going to have changes and costs saving. It is not going to work out for you because you're sticking to the same thing over and over. What has worked out for you in this season is not the same thing that's going to work out for you for the next season. So we must make sure we are able to be flexible in changing or modifying our formulas. So we go to feed ingredients now. So we said each of the ingredients has got a particular nutrient. So these ingredients can not only have one particular nutrient, but it has a lot. But it is known for one particular ingredient because that is the ingredient it has the most. So when it comes to proteins, because we've spoken about proteins, carbohydrates, and minerals and vitamins. So when we talk of proteins, what ingredients has proteins? So now, as we are going to start discussing this, we can now begin to write in your area where you are playing this video from. What is it that you have for proteins in abundance, and what is it that you can easily get, you can easily access, and what is it that you want to choose from for your protein source? So for proteins, we have soybean meal. It is high in protein. Then soybean meal is a key component providing essential amino acids for growth, for poultry growth, so for soybean meal, good quality, when you take it for analysis, it has to give you about 36 to 40% of protein content. Sunflower meal, it's also another source of protein. It contributes protein, energy, and some essential amino acids. So remember, it also has a bit of energy. Like I mentioned, it may be known for protein, but it also has a little bit of the others. So generally we'll use it for protein, but even as you're adding it, you need to understand to say, okay, what about this particular small thing? How is it going to balance in this formula? If I put this ingredient, is it going to spike these particular small ingredients content, or maybe I should just do away, let go of this? Then we go to maize. Also, this also is generally known for the energy. Like I mentioned, it's known for something big, so it's known for energy, the carbohydrates, but also has a little bit of protein. So it has about 8 to 12% protein. So that's the range in which protein lies for maize. Then fish meal, rich in protein and essential amino acids. Fish meal enhances feed's nutritional content. So fish meal has 60 to 72% of protein in it. It's actually the highest from the list that I've put down here. So there are many more other protein ingredients, but these are the commonly known. So if you have any other, definitely you can just drop it in the comment section. Then we can be able to see how we can fuse this one in. Okay, so continuation, we have groundnuts. That is peanuts, groundnut meal. It also has protein, fat, and minerals. So it supports development. That is 40 to 50%. So balancing these ingredients ensures a feed mix that meets the nutritional needs of chickens at different life stages. So we need to balance these. We need to balance these. Even as you are picking, ensure that you are balancing. The specific nutritional profiles may vary based on formulation, rations, and processing. Okay, so we go to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, we have maize, sorghum, wheat, rice bran. So for these carbohydrates, it's energy that they are giving to us. Now if you're going to use maize, you need to understand that it has about 19 to 28% of the carbohydrate content. So even as you're going to select, if you select maize, you need to understand to say, with good quality, after taking it for analysis, you'll be able to find that it is even at 28%. Then that is very good, very, very good quality. Sorghum has about 73% approximately of the carbohydrate. Now, this is very, very good, but is it everywhere? That is where we spoke of local availability and how much is it that is in your area. When you talk of wheat, it has 19 to 23%. How much of it are farmers having? It's very good as well. When you talk of rice bran, it has about 50% approximately. How much of it do we have? If you have a lot of it, yes, it can also be used in your formulation. So all these are what you can choose from as you are going to choose. It's not only how much of it, but there are many more others that I've mentioned, that I had mentioned, that you need to put into consideration even as you're going to do your selection. Then we also have cassava. Cassava has about 38% of carbohydrates. So even as you are selecting it, how much of it do you have in your locality, or is it easy for you to access it and in large quantities and use it? Okay, so we now go to vitamins. So these that have been listed down here are what we can get vitamins from. That is yellow maize, leafy green forages, fish meal, alfalfa meal. These are things plus vitamin premixes. So for you to extract, you need to have the vitamins extracted chemically. So for you to get these things, it's a chemical process, of course. If you have the yellow maize, you can use it as well, because it's going to contribute vitamin A levels. It's going to boost also immunity. Then we have leafy green forages. Do you have them? So these forages will contribute things like vitamin K, vitamin E, and some B vitamins. Fish meal is going to contribute vitamin D, and then also it contributes to calcium absorption and bone health in chickens, that fish meal. Alfalfa meal is a source of various vitamins, including vitamin K and some vitamin B, enhancing overall nutritional profile of feed. So do you have these, and can you easily access them? If not, we now have vitamin premixes. So this is what we are having here. Vitamin premixes, these are commercially prepared vitamin premixes that are often added to ensure correct balance of essential vitamins in chicken diets. So you need to understand that even the maize itself has got a bit of vitamins. Even soya, even sunflower cake, it has. But as I mentioned earlier, you need to balance. They need to be balanced. Now, what is it that is going to aid or to help you balance this? These vitamin premixes are going to help you balance what's needed. So balancing these sources helps meet the vitamin requirements for optimal growth, reproduction, and overall health in poultry. When you overlook these, that is where you find that your chickens don't really, if you get 100 chickens, you buy 100 chickens, you get, when harvesting, you are having about 60. The health of your chickens is not really good. They're not performing well. Even the production capacities for us who are having layers, you find that percentages of production is just low always, and the mortalities are very high. That's because it's been manipulated with the vitamins. Imbalance of the vitamins could cause a lot of fatalities in our chicken runs. Hence, let's put this into consideration. So adjustments in formulation are made based on specific needs of different chicken breeds and production stages. So advanced adjustments in formulations are made. So you might find there is a bit of less or insufficiency in vitamin, maybe example vitamin E, and then you find there will be something that the chickens are going to show you. They will show you a certain sign. You'd find sometimes the legs are not really working well, there is paralysis. You would definitely know to say, I think I need to include a little bit of this. So you would start making adjustments. That is why it's actually very good formulate your own feed, because you already know when you start feeding, you already know to say, if my chickens start exhibiting such signs, I think this could be the problem, this could be the cause. Okay, so when we come to minerals, we can get them from limestone, bone meal. So you can see the percentages down there. There is 38 to 40% calcium in the minerals. Then the bone meal, in limestone. Then in bone meal, we have about 25 to 27% of calcium and 12 to 16% of phosphorus. Then in salt, we have 39.3% of sodium and 60% of chloride. Then we also have in dicalcium phosphate, we have 18% to 21% of calcium and 18 to 21% of phosphorus. So for these, you need to get them from what we've mentioned here. If you don't have them, these same premixes and base mixes, they come with these. So even as you buy a base mix or a premix, you need to understand what it's having. When you read down there, it should balance with what you require. Then after balancing that, it's easy for you to not only buy these small things like that. It's already compound. It's already a compound that you just have to add. So that is it on that point. Okay, so continuation, trace mineral premixes. So on minerals, that is where now I think I've explained this already. There are commercially prepared premixes that are available, providing a combination of essential trace minerals like copper, zinc, selenium, and other crucial and others that are crucial for various metabolic functions. Balancing these mineral sources in feed formulations is critical to prevent deficiencies or excesses, ensuring that chickens receive the necessary minerals for growth, reproduction, and overall health. Adjustments may be made based on specific requirements for different chicken breeds and production stages. So this is what I had for you. I encourage each of us to add stake to the bones that I give. We need to research further on each and everything that we've brought out in this video, so that we may be able to understand. Next time that we are going to meet, we'll have to discuss further. So as we discuss, you will be able to understand where you did not understand, and as you do your personal researches, you'll be able to understand where you don't understand. After this video, if there are any questions, you can drop a comment. You can drop them in the comment section. Then if you have any query, even in our groups, we've got WhatsApp groups where you can drop your questions, then we can be able to discuss from there. Thank you so much. From me, this is Gift Manganukila. Hopefully we meet in the next class again. Have a blessed day.